The world watches with bated breath, anxiously following every development. As tensions rise between India and China, two of the world's most populous and powerful nations, a conflict between these Asian giants would be catastrophic, not just for the two nations, but for the entire world. The ramifications would be felt far and wide, affecting global stability. The global economy, already fragile from recent crises, could be plunged into unprecedented chaos. Stock markets could crash, supply chains could be disrupted, and everyday life could be severely impacted. Nowhere would the impact be felt more acutely than in the Middle East, a region strategically located at the crossroads of Asia, Africa, and Europe. This area is a vital artery for global energy supplies. The Middle East is not a direct party to the India-China dispute, yet its geopolitical significance cannot be overstated. However, its importance as an energy supplier and a trade hub makes it a critical player in this geopolitical drama. The region's stability is essential for the smooth flow of energy resources. The region sits on vast reserves of oil and natural gas, fueling the industries and economies of major powers, including China, India, the United States, and Europe. These resources are the lifeblood of modern economies. Any disruption to the flow of energy from the Middle East would have severe consequences worldwide. Shipping lanes could be blocked and energy supplies could be cut off. Oil prices could skyrocket, leading to economic recession and political instability. The ripple effects would be felt in every corner of the globe, from gas stations to grocery stores. The stakes are incredibly high, and the world cannot afford to ignore the potential fallout of an India-China conflict on this volatile region. Diplomatic efforts must be intensified to prevent such a crisis. The Middle East occupies a unique and critical position in the global energy landscape. This region is not just a geographical area but a pivotal hub that influences the energy dynamics of the entire world. The region holds the world's largest proven reserves of oil and natural gas, making it a cornerstone of global energy supply. These vast reserves have been the backbone of the global energy market for decades, making it an indispensable supplier to major economies worldwide. Countries across the globe, from the Americas to Asia, depend heavily on the steady flow of energy resources from this region. China, in particular, relies heavily on the Middle East for its energy needs, with its rapidly growing economy demanding ever-increasing amounts of oil and gas. A significant portion of its oil imports originates from Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Iran. These nations have become key players in meeting China's energy demands. The Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway between Iran and Oman, is a crucial choke point for global energy transport. This strategic passage is vital for the uninterrupted flow of oil and gas. Nearly a third of the world's seaborne oil passes through this strait, making it a potential flashpoint in any regional conflict. The security of this narrow passage is paramount for global energy stability. An India-China war could easily spill over into the Persian Gulf, disrupting maritime traffic and sending shockwaves through the global energy market. Such a conflict would have far-reaching consequences, affecting energy prices and availability worldwide. Beyond oil and gas, the Middle East is a major transit route for liquefied natural gas, or LNG, a cleaner-burning fuel source gaining popularity worldwide. The region's role in the LNG market is becoming increasingly significant. Qatar, a tiny nation in the Persian Gulf, is the world's largest exporter of LNG, playing a crucial role in the global energy supply chain, supplying energy to Asian giants like China, India, and Japan. These countries are major consumers of LNG, relying on Qatar's exports to meet their energy needs. Any disruption to LNG supplies from the Middle East would have significant implications for these economies. The stability of LNG supply routes is essential for maintaining energy security in these regions. The Suez Canal, connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea, is another vital artery for global trade and energy transport. This man-made marvel, stretching over 120 miles, serves as a crucial shortcut for ships, significantly reducing the journey between Asia and Europe. This waterway not only cuts down shipping times but also slashes costs, making it an indispensable link in the global supply chain. Without the Suez Canal, ships would have to navigate around the southern tip of Africa, adding weeks to their voyages and increasing fuel consumption. Approximately 12% of global trade, including significant amounts of oil and LNG, passes through the Suez Canal annually. This means that any disruption here can have a ripple effect, impacting economies far and wide. An India-China war could threaten the security of the Suez Canal in several ways. The conflict could escalate tensions in the region, leading to increased military presence and potential clashes. Increased naval activity in the Indian Ocean could raise the risk of accidents or deliberate attacks on commercial vessels, disrupting traffic through the canal. The presence of warships and submarines could make the waters more dangerous for commercial shipping. Additionally, political instability in the Middle East, exacerbated by the conflict, could spill over into Egypt, potentially jeopardizing the canal's operation. Egypt's stability is crucial for the smooth functioning of the Suez Canal, and any unrest could have dire consequences. The 2021 blockage of the Suez Canal by the container ship Ever Given highlighted the fragility of global supply chains and the outsized impact of disruptions to this crucial waterway. The incident caused a massive backlog of ships and delayed deliveries worldwide. A prolonged closure of the canal due to an India-China conflict would have severe economic consequences, disrupting the flow of goods and energy worldwide. The global economy, already strained by various challenges, would face even greater pressure, leading to increased costs and shortages of essential goods. The Middle East is already a region fraught with tension and rivalry. An India-China war would further complicate the geopolitical landscape, forcing countries in the region to reassess their alliances and navigate a new balance of power. Some Middle Eastern countries like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have close economic and strategic ties with both India and China. These countries would likely try to maintain neutrality in the conflict, seeking to preserve their interests with both Asian powers. However, other countries might be forced to choose sides, aligning themselves with either India or China based on existing partnerships or perceived threats. This could exacerbate existing tensions and potentially lead to new conflicts in the region. Section 5. Economic shockwaves. The economic impact of an India-China war on the Middle East would be significant and multifaceted. The region relies heavily on trade with both Asian giants and, well, a conflict would disrupt these economic ties, leading to reduced trade volumes and economic losses. The Middle East is a major recipient of remittances from its diaspora working abroad, particularly in the Gulf countries. An economic downturn in India or China, resulting from the war, could lead to job losses and reduced remittances, impacting the livelihoods of many families in the Middle East. Furthermore, foreign direct investment in the Middle East could decline as investors become wary of the heightened geopolitical risks. This would further hamper economic growth and development in the region. Section 6. A growing military presence. Both India and China have been steadily increasing their military presence in the Indian Ocean region in recent years. India, with its long coastline and strategic interests in the Indian Ocean, has been modernizing its navy and establishing military bases in strategically important locations. China, on the other hand, has been pursuing a string of pearls strategy, establishing a network of ports and military facilities in countries like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Djibouti. This growing Chinese presence in the Indian Ocean is seen by India as an attempt to encircle it and limit its influence in the region. An India-China war would inevitably lead to a militarization of the Indian Ocean, with both countries deploying naval forces and potentially engaging in direct military confrontations. This would further destabilize the region and could draw other regional and global powers into the conflict. Section 7. The importance of dialogue. Given the high stakes involved, it is crucial that all parties involved in the India-China dispute prioritize dialogue and diplomacy to prevent the situation from escalating into a full-blown conflict. International organizations like the United Nations and regional organizations like the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN have a critical role to play in facilitating dialogue and mediating between India and China. The international community must impress upon both India and China the importance of resolving their differences peacefully and the potentially catastrophic consequences of a military conflict. Section 8. A new non-aligned movement. The potential for an India-China war presents a significant dilemma for many countries in the Middle East. The region has long been caught in the crosshairs of great power competition, often forced to choose sides or face the consequences. However, the rise of a multipolar world, with multiple centers of power, offers an opportunity for the Middle East to chart a more independent course. Rather than aligning themselves with one power against another, Middle Eastern countries could come together to form a new, non-aligned movement, prioritizing their interests and promoting dialogue and cooperation between the major powers. Section 9. Navigating a multipolar world. The world is entering a new era marked by shifting alliances, emerging powers, and increasing geopolitical complexity. The potential for an India-China war is a stark reminder of the challenges and uncertainties that lie ahead. For the Middle East, navigating this multipolar world will require deft diplomacy, strategic partnerships, and a commitment to regional stability and cooperation. By prioritizing dialogue, diversifying partnerships, and focusing on economic development, the Middle East can mitigate the risks and capitalize on the opportunities presented by this new geopolitical landscape.